Hi everyone, thanks again for joining us at Better Picks. Just a quick video today on using the crop and straighten tools within Lightroom. Many of the features are very similar to the crop and straighten tools in Adobe Camera Raw and Photoshop. However, there are some differences that we'll have a look at. I've got here just an imported DNG image that I shot with a drone. I've just clicked onto the crop overlay tool, which the shortcut is R. Obviously, if you want to deselect that crop tool, then you just click the same tab again. So I'll just click on that, and initially if you would like to adjust the crop, you can see that the crop little icons or drag points have appeared around the image, and if I just click on and drag one of those or a couple of those, you can see that I can adjust the crop for this image quite easily. And then of course, if I wish to reposition the image in the background, I just need to click and drag that image quite easily to be able to recenter or reposition that crop. I'll just reset that so we start from the beginning again. If we come down to what's called the crop frame tool just underneath, that's going to give me the option to click and drag a crop, very similar to Photoshop and Adobe Camera Raw. And then of course I can position that crop and rotate with the mouse just outside the crop area. You can see that the mouse cursor changes so that I can rotate that in any direction that I want to go, to straighten or just adjust things as they're needed. I'm just going to reset that again so that we can continue on. Having a look at the aspect ratio under original, if we click that little drop down box, you can see there's a number of different ratios there available, so that I can, obviously 1:1 is going to be a square photograph, various other ratios there, 16:9 if I want to make it the same shape as a standard widescreen video, as well as the option to enter custom ratio as well. Again, very similar to Adobe Camera Raw. So we'll just reset that again. Also with the crop frame tool, when you click and drag, you also have the option to click and drag in a vertical crop. A little bit different to the way that it's done in Adobe Camera Raw, but you do at least have that option to then crop a vertical image if required based on what you're trying to achieve. So just keep that in mind. The process is a little bit different, but still absolutely achievable in Lightroom. I'll just hit reset again so that we can go back to the beginning. And the last thing I wanted to show was just how to straighten the image. You can see with this image that it is a little bit crooked. Not always easy to get an entirely straight image with a drone if you're photographing or working quickly. However, just a few options on methods to be able to straighten the image. You can see we've got the angle, and when I hover over it there, it's called the straighten tool. Very similar to Adobe Camera Raw and Photoshop, where you can click and drag a line across the line that you wish to be straight. So when I let go of that tool, you can see it's just slightly rotated the image based on that line that I've drawn, and now without the crop tool selected, it has perfectly straightened that image. Again, I'll just hit reset. Also got an angle slider here as well. This probably isn't my favorite method of straightening the image because I just find that it's a little bit hard to get an accurate end result, but it's certainly an option there if you like. Obviously when I click on it, we get a much tighter grid display, which will help with straightening the image, and then it's just a case of sliding that slider along in the direction as required so that you get a straight image as a final result. That doesn't look too bad at all actually. So again, I'll just reset that image. The last option is actually to click auto. So as you can see, when I hover above the tool there, automatically straighten the photo. Look, I'm not generally a fan of anything that's automatic. I tend to recommend taking a more manual approach so that you can specifically have the results that you want. Obviously based on your understanding of the tools. However, in a situation like this where the horizon is quite obvious, it does a great job. So you can see there that it has straightened the image quite well. So that's the last of the options with the straighten or straightening the horizon on an image. Hope these tools have been helpful, and hit the subscribe button, and look forward to seeing you shortly.